So after my accident on the Ypres Rally, this is Scott's idea of therapy. Scott is back over this weekend for the Rally Van Staden in the Peugeot 106 Rally. The event is new to the Flanders International Rally Challenge, but not new to me. I finished 10th overall driving the Subaru last year. Hopefully my knowledge of the stages can help Scott in the fight at this year's event. After retiring at the Rally Van Wervik, we desperately need some points on the board at round 4 of this year's championship. But we're up against some stiff competition, with again the presence of Rally 2 cars, Pex, Weatherly and newcomer Steve Finch, and also last year's champion René Walraven, who's hiring a beautiful new M3 from Mads van der Brand. We're seeded an excellent car 25 out of 114 entries. It'll be my first time back on the Belgian stages after my crash on the Ypres Rally, so hopefully a good next step mentally for me to get over what happened. The rally consists of 12 stages, all held on the Sunday, with a total of 137 competitive kilometres. Looking forward to getting back out on the stages. Let's get into it.
Get the road beers in, lads.
So, Staden. It's the next round on the FIRC Championship, and we're here. Car's ready to go. Since Wervik last time, we obviously had the front hub failure. Got straight in contact with Satchel Engineering, and straight away it was like, yeah, okay, we can sort that out. Get a set of new hubs. So we've changed both the left and the right. At that time, decided that it'd be a good idea to take the gearbox out, check the condition of the clutch, and just strip and rebuild the gearbox. That's all good. The car feels really good. We've done some wheel alignment setup, and the car's actually feeling probably the best it has done in quite some time. If you'd have watched our last video with Bill and Ypres, you'll know that it didn't go to plan. It's something that we know can happen in rallying. When you're driving fast down these roads, they can bite, and certainly that was the case with Bill and Andy. And to be honest, being there and having to collect the car and helping Bill was difficult, and it probably hit me harder than I thought it was going to. But certainly the weeks after Ypres was definitely a bit of a reality check for me, but this is what we do and this is what we love to do. So stopping wasn't an option, or pausing the year or anything like that. But on the start line of stage 1 tomorrow, the thoughts will certainly be, let's make sure we have a clean run. Bill's obviously in the car. It's his first event back after his accident, and I'll be driving with that in mind. Still won't be going slowly. We've still got people that we want to try and beat, and driving slowly isn't really in our vocabulary. The field is strong. You can't discount anybody really in the championship. Everybody's super competitive and super quick, so we've really got to bring our A game. We'll see what we can do. Now I've taken my drop score from Wervik. That's definitely the plan, is to get as many points as possible on the board.
So we are just on the second loop of Recce, just checking out the stages and going through the notes. A lovely day here in the Staden area.
Obviously new event to me, not to Bill, so picking up on some of that experience from last year. We've got one new stage which we've done twice now, and that looks really fun, really enjoyable. Some of the sections are going to be really slippery. The tarmac's super shiny, and quite a lot of dust on the side of the road, gravel that's going to get pulled out of the cut, so it's not going to be an easy event. Lots to watch out for, but I think I'm feeling pretty good, and like blue skies, warm weather, it's exactly what Belgian rallying is all about.
Rangers, assemble.
Go, go,
Right, so we are in the car on the way back from a special mission which will be revealed in a later video, but for now let's talk about last weekend at Staden.
I mean, Recce as a whole, it didn't start until really late. We weren't allowed to start until 1 o'clock in the afternoon, so leisurely start on Saturday morning. The boys all enjoyed that, making fry-ups and all sorts.
Going for a run. We didn't do that, just to clarify.
We definitely didn't go for a run, but service boys decided they were going to go for a run.
Well done, Jamesy.
Recce as a whole was pretty good, in all honesty.
I think from a co-driver's point of view, Staden is a really nice, quite straightforward and easy event. The format is very compact, so the road section seemed really simple, which was nice for me sitting in the nav seat. Scrutineering was all good. We actually let the boys take the car through scrutineering, so it was something we've learned from rallying in Belgium a little bit now. We're normally used to always being there at scrutineering. I think it's quite a UK clubman attitude, is to be there with the car and see it through scrutineering. It's always been part of the weekend for us, kind of growing up rallying in the UK, but definitely in Belgium it makes the whole process much easier and the Recce day much easier if you just send the car with a service crew and let them fully handle scrutineering.
Removing the stresses from scrutineering and the time that it takes to do it in already a quite compact afternoon of Recceing, it was perfect. Like, they dealt with it all seamlessly, took the car, got it through, parked it up in Parc Fermé, left it perfect for me to jump in the morning feeling refreshed. You know, it was ideal.
Good morning, it is rally day, Sunday. The weather is looking lovely again, there's not a cloud in the sky. Fairly early start this morning, just watching the sun come up as we make our way over to get the guys and then head into Staden to go and retrieve the car from Parc Fermé before we get started with a quick service and then the first loop of stages this morning.
Just here, waiting to pick up the car from Parc Fermé. We've got a small wait until we're allowed to go in, just 10 minutes before, and then we can go and get the car, get it unwrapped, crack on with the day. Obviously pre-rally nerves every time, but yeah, we're looking forward to this one.
My side of the car, stage one felt really good. It felt like we were pretty on it and in a good rhythm from the off.
From my side, certainly the stage felt fine, but most notable for me was a smell of burning, which I couldn't put my finger on and I couldn't figure out where it was coming from. We continued to the end of the stage and then out onto the road section, pulled over just before going into stage two. Quite obvious that the source of the smell was from the alternator. It was super hot and it sits just underneath the exhaust manifold, so it's quite a volatile place to be. You could see that the motor windings had burnt and there was definitely a smell of burnt electrical, so decision was taken to get the alternator belt off. We'd run without the alternator connected. That also meant that I can't run with the power steering. Power steering is electro-hydraulic power steering pump. So had I have run with it, we'd have run out of battery before we got to the end of the loop. Bit the bullet and it was like, right, we're going to have to do this without power steering, which I wasn't looking forward to. My car's a handful at the best of times and I need all the help I can get trying to keep the thing straight. But, you know, straight into stage two and just did our best. waiting to go into stage 3. Just got through stage 2 with no power steering. My arm's going to fall off at the end of the day if I've got to keep doing this. But we're currently running with no alternator. It was trying to set itself on fire in the first stage and there was smoke in the car. So we pulled over at the side of the road and removed the alternator belt. We're going to try and get to the end of the loop and then change the alternator in service. It's going to be a tall ask because it's tight and it's so hot under there. So let's hope we get to the end of the day.
Stage 3 with no power steering. There was one section where we had a flat, maybe I think is fair to say, 6 right, and then a big stop for a square junction.
I'd sort of singled it out during Recce that I could probably stay flat all the way through the 6, which narrowed, and then as the road went wider again, I thought I could probably keep it absolutely flat until the road's widened again and then jump on the brakes. And I hadn't quite anticipated how little grip there was going to be, so as we came through there, jumped on the brakes and it locked up a couple of times, and so I just had to throw some gears at it and a little tug of handbrake on the entry and it went in,
Wrestled it to a stop. Stages really of wrestling the car without power steering. Did a fine job, mate. The boys jumped on the car in service straight away. We didn't have a lot of time. We had around 20 minutes actually at our service break.
To get the alternator out of there is extremely difficult when it's cold, let alone when it's absolutely roasting hot. The boys did a really good job at getting in there, getting the alternator off. It was a proper team effort, all 4 guys just in there without any regard to their own safety with burns and this, that and the other, talking really well, and it was a pleasure to sort of be a part of it. We were a little bit late coming out of service, which caused us a 1-minute penalty. Coming out of service, it was quite obvious that I still didn't have power steering. The power for the power steering comes from the alternator, and the union had just been missed when it was going back on, so we came out of service without power steering. I was ready to take on another 3 stages with no power steering.
So we then went to stage 4. As we pulled onto the start line of stage 4, we were told to hold and not go into the stage. So the car in front of us went into the stage fine, but unfortunately another competitor had an accident on that stage, and the stage was stopped, the ambulances were sent into the stage, and we were told not to proceed. So sat there on the start line for a little bit until eventually we were then told to follow the alternate route from the start line of stage 4 straight to the start line of stage 5, with stage 4 being cancelled.
Another long stage with no power steering, but feeling quicker, like definitely felt happier with how the car was reacting. I knew that we'd be stopping for fuel at the end of stage 5, at which point I was going to give it a go at trying to fix the power steering and reconnect the power seat. So we went through stage 5, got to the fuel station, put fuel in, opened the bonnet, could see that the ring terminal wasn't on the stud for the power steering, spun it on and pulled out of there in a much better position, in that I could now steer the car with one hand and just like absolute relief going into the start of stage 6.
So after stage 5, when we now had power steering back, I think we were sat in around 31st overall, so had a bit of a fight back on our hands.
Into stage 6, the car now feeling way easier to drive with the power steering now hooked up. You know, we were in there sort of maximum attack a little bit. Sort of, now I've got power steering, let's see what we can do. Only until 3 corners from the end. We're going fairly fast, 3 right, and then I don't know, about 500 metre long straight. So we're as fast as the car will go, 6th gear, and we'd had in the notes that there was a bump next to a driveway, and we went over the bump, and it didn't react nicely to the bump, and it spat us sideways relatively quickly at maximum speed, and managed to catch it. We were in the grass and sort of threading the needle down somewhere that you really don't want to be, out of control. There's way too many things to hit. Stage, just two corners later, I did have to say sorry to Bill for raising the heart rate a little bit, but he was happy that, you know, I had it all under control, and and a bit of a well held was given.
Yeah, I'm not sure I was convinced you had it under control, I'll be honest, mate. It was, like you said, about as fast as a thing will go in Sydney, flat out. The car decided it was going stage right, half the car on the grass. Kind of had in my head, oh god, not again. After what happened in Ypres, it was, yeah, not a nice feeling, but fortunately Scott managed to grab hold of it. Woo! Very happy to get to the finish of that stage in one piece, just about.
So an exciting start to the day. This sort of marked the halfway point. Hopefully all the issues were sorted at this point, and maybe we could have just 2 more clean loops. Back to service after 6. Boys gave it a quick spanner check, and we're back on our way again for loop 3.
Loop of stages. Finally a clean loop, Scott, with power steering.
Yeah, absolutely. It's nice to get a clean loop under your belt. It sort of affects your sort of flow when you've got like little issues like going on, so it's nice to have a clean loop now. We're just waiting to go into regroup, and I'm melting. It's really hot in the car, and a bit of a headache coming on, so just got to keep on drinking water and getting as much fluids in me as possible, and then at the end of the event the most important fluid can go.
Full attack was sort of engaged for the rest of the day, really, with the goal to try and just set some decent overall times, and yeah, the pace was really hot, very well driven by Scott throughout. showed on the times. You know, I think in the last couple of loops there was a couple of 11th overall times and one top 10 times, so really good considering the competition that was there and the entry of the rally. To be punching up there in the little 106 is a hell of a drive.
Really happy with just how the whole weekend went. You know, could have been this, that and the other, but I don't think we could have asked for any more with everything that went on. It was yeah, really good event.
It showed why in rallying you just never give up. The day started out really badly after stage one, so there was definitely a point where I was sort of sat in the car on that road section where I thought this could be us and game over for the rally, you know, and the end of the day. But we didn't give up, we persevered, put in some hard work, particularly on your side of the car. But then in the afternoon the day just got better and better, the pace was getting quicker and quicker, the feeling in the car was fantastic. Great partnership in the car, but also the service crew and the guys that were there, the job they did and their professionalism. You know, they could be any works team in the world. They did a great job, and it was a real good team effort from everybody to get us through the event, and at the end of the day bag a really good result, coming home in 17th overall, second in class and second in the two-wheel drive for the FIRC, which, considering the challenges that we had in the morning, the time lost, but also the penalty, you know, an amazing result really. And the main thing at the end of the day, those last two loops in particular, is, you know, it was so enjoyable. Like, we had so much fun in the car. Really enjoyed it. For me personally, after what happened at Ypres, it was my first time back out on the Belgian stages, and to be having that level of enjoyment in a rally car again was a really big tick for me, and a really big mental game changer in terms of getting over what happened at Ypres and moving forward. So yeah, big thanks to you for keeping me safe, mate, just about. I wasn't sure at one point, but yeah, no, it was a great day out in the car.
I hope your therapy session has helped. So up for us next, we got 3.5 weeks until we are back to Belgium for not a round of the FIRC. We're out to complete on Omloop van Vlaanderen. It's the event that first brought us to Belgium, so just an event for maximum enjoyment. Tour of Flanders is a big event up there with Ypres, round of the BRC. It's all for the fun, all for the enjoyment, and yeah, just looking forward to it.